You know the feeling. You are sitting at a table, staring down a blank Dungeons & Dragons character sheet.
Oh yeah, it can be completely terrifying.
Right. It's covered in all these little empty boxes for ability scores, saving throws, proficiencies, equipment. I mean, it literally looks like a tax form.
Yeah, it really does.
And if you're new, you feel this immense pressure to fill it out perfectly. But our mission in this deep dive is to look at the core player's handbook and show you that the secret is not to build the perfect character.
Exactly.
The secret is to build a character that you actually want to become for a few hours. A hero that you are excited to play.
Because the player's handbook actually establishes this right out of the gate in the preface. It openly states that D&D is not a game with, winners and losers in the traditional sense.
Right, it's not a tactical board game where you just total up points.
Right, it's collaborative storytelling.
Mm.
But to achieve that, the designers couldn't just say, hey, go act out a part. They had to build rules that actively make your character feel like a real breathing person.
And that means before you even touch a single 20-sided die, before you write down a single number, you should start with just a simple fantasy idea.
Just one sentence. That's really all you need to start.
Yeah, like maybe you want to play a young fighter who is just desperately trying to prove they are brave.
Or a really curious wizard who wants forbidden knowledge.
Yes. Or, a rogue who trusts nobody but secretly just wants a family. If you have that simple idea, all the crunchier choices on the sheet become infinitely easier.
They really do. Because the first big choice you hit on that sheet is race. And, it's so tempting to just look at the races as mathematical bonuses.
Oh, for sure. Min-maxing. You see a dwarf gets a +2 to Constitution and you immediately think, okay, frontline tank.
Right, but the handbook uses those traits to give you an identity, not just a bonus.
Yeah.
Like with dwarves, they get this feature called stone cunning.
Which is such a cool flavor mechanic.
It is. It means you add double your proficiency bonus to history checks related to stonework. So you aren't just good at looking at rocks. You have this almost supernatural ancestral connection to stone that heavily outpaces any scholar.
It grounds you in the world. And the rules actually use probability to enforce how a race feels. Like, let's talk about the halfling.
Oh, the lucky trait.
Yes, the handbook gives halflings the lucky trait, which lets you re-roll a 1 on an attack roll or a saving throw.
Which fundamentally changes the psychology of the player.
It really does, because a standard 20-sided die is pure chaos, right? You have a 5% chance of just catastrophic failure on every roll.
But the designers basically remove that bottom 5% for the halfling. You go from a 1 in 20 chance of disaster to a 1 in 400 chance.
So, without even realizing it, the person playing the halfling starts acting like one. You feel safer, you take riskier actions, you dive into danger, acting like the brave, lucky underdog.
The math is literally generating the roleplay organically.
But, okay, let me play devil's advocate here. What about humans? Because if you pick a baseline human in the player's handbook, it just gives you a +1 to all 6 stats.
Just a flat board.
Yeah, it's perfectly symmetrical. In a game with all these magical, specialized cultural traits, isn't playing a human just, well, boring?
You'd think so, but that flatness is a very specific design choice. Because you don't have a sharp gimmick like stone cunning or fey ancestry, you naturally lean harder into the world's actual cultures.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, the book points out that humans are the ultimate integrators. You look at the rich ethnicities like the Kalashite or the Damaran, you borrow languages from your neighbors. The mechanical neutrality acts as a blank canvas.
So race gives you your physical and cultural roots. But then you have to figure out what you actually do, which brings us to class.
Your vocation.
Exactly. Your class dictates your playstyle. And just like with race, the mechanics enforce a specific mindset. Take a weapon-focused class like the fighter. They get this feature called Second Wind, right?
Oh, a lifesaver.
Literally. It's a bonus action that restores hit points in the middle of combat. Mechanically, it's just efficient, but narratively, it enforces this feeling of relentless grit. You take a massive hit, you dig deep, and you just refuse to fall.
And then you contrast that with a magic focus class, like the Warlock, which is just brilliant design.
The short rest mechanics.
Exactly. A
Yeah.
wizard or a cleric typically needs a long rest, like a full 8 hours of sleep, to get their big spells back. But a warlock gets their spell slots back on a short rest, just an hour of catching their breath.
Which completely changes how you interact with the party.
It creates this constant friction. The warlock player is always the one saying, hey, can we stop? Can we pause for an hour?
They act impatient.
Right, because you are playing someone who got their magic through a shortcut, a bargain with an otherworldly patron. So your mechanics reflect this need for rapid, selfish bursts of recovery.
And it forces a backstory, too, because you didn't learn magic from a book. You signed a contract with an archfey or a demon.
You have to answer the question of who holds that contract.
Which perfectly transitions into the next big section of the sheet, backgrounds. Because knowing you swing a sword or cast a spell tells us what you do, but it doesn't tell us who you were before the adventure started.
Right. Were you a soldier?
Yeah.
A criminal? An entertainer? An acolyte?
And the handbook doesn't just give you some skills like thieves' tools and call it a day. It introduces the 4 pillars of personality.
Traits, ideals, bonds, and flaws.
This is where a character really gets a soul. So a personality trait is just how you behave day to day. An ideal is what you believe in, like charity or logic. A bond is who or what matters to you.
And then there are flaws. What gets you into trouble?
Right, and the handbook is a really cool example of this, using 2 famous characters from D&D lore, Tika Whalen and Artemis Entreri.
It's a great comparison. Tika is driven by this deep bond to protect her friends, but she has a paralyzing flaw. She is terrified of heights because of a childhood fall.
And then Artemis is this ruthless assassin. He's totally closed off to people, but his defining bond is this obsessive drive to beat his rival.
They are defined almost entirely by their psychological fractures.
But I mean, writing a flaw on a piece of paper is easy. The hard part is getting a beginner to actually act on that flaw when there are goblins trying to kill them.
Right. Why would you voluntarily do something stupid in a tactical combat game?
Exactly. If my flaw is that I am blindingly arrogant and I charge headfirst into an ambush instead of sneaking, I am a liability to the party.
Yeah.
Why does the game want me to sabotage myself?
Because if you don't, the story gets boring. If everybody sneaks perfectly and fights perfectly all the time, it's just a math problem.
Right.
So the game designers created the inspiration system.
The bribe.
It is literally a mechanical bribe. The Dungeon Master gives you inspiration, which is an advantage on a future roll, specifically when you play into your flaws to your own detriment.
So when Tika hesitates at the edge of the cliff because of her fear of heights and it jeopardizes the escape, the DM hands her player a reward.
The game actually pays you to make the story complicated and emotional.
Which is amazing. But eventually, we do have to talk about the numbers, the engine that powers all of this. Step 6. Ability scores.
Strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma.
The classic 6, and beginners get so intimidated by this part they think it's just scary math, but it's really just the physics engine of your character.
I love that analogy.
Yeah, it's like, how does the universe act upon you? High strength means you have an athletic, dense build. High dexterity means you smoothly bypass danger. High charisma means you can bend conversations to your will.
And you shouldn't be afraid to have low scores either. The handbook uses this ongoing example of a player named Bob creating Bruenor the Dwarf Fighter.
Oh, this is such a good example.
Bob gives Bruenor high strength and constitution, obviously, because he's a fighter. But then Bob makes the deliberate choice to give Bruenor a really low intelligence score, just an 8, while keeping his wisdom pretty high at a 13.
Which, if you were just trying to build a perfect killing machine, makes no sense. Why not drop your charisma instead?
Because Bob wants to play Bruenor as a grizzled, older veteran who is a bit forgetful.
Right.
By giving him an 8 in intelligence, the mechanics physically prevent Bruenor from acting like a scholar. He's going to fail rolls to remember historical facts.
But with that high wisdom, his intuition is great. He can walk into a room and instantly sense an ambush.
Exactly. The low stat isn't a mistake. It's a storytelling choice that forces Bob to play Bruenor a specific way.
It's an inescapable role-playing prompt. And then the final layer on top of all of this, step 7, is equipment and appearance.
Your gear.
Right, because a longsword isn't just a piece of metal that does 100 d8 damage. Maybe it's the notched, rusted blade of your fallen mentor. Or maybe you carry a weird trinket like a tiny silver bell that rings without making a sound.
The physical items help you visualize the hero.
Okay, so let's synthesize all of this. Let's do a full beginner character example right now, just off the cuff.
Let's do it.
So we start with a simple concept, let's say. A street-smart kid who discovered a magical book and is now trying to be a hero, but they are incredibly greedy.
I like that. Okay, so for race, maybe tiefling. It gives them that outsider vibe. Maybe people don't trust them on the streets.
Perfect, tiefling. And for class, if they found a magic book, wizard is the obvious choice.
Let's go wizard.
So we have a tiefling wizard. background.
Merchant or criminal? Let's go criminal. That gives them thieves' tools and stealth, which is super weird and fun for a wizard.
I love a sneaky wizard.
And-
Okay, personality trait. I pocket small things that don't belong to me.
Ideal. I want to prove I am more than just a street rat.
Bond. The old fence who raised me, I send them money whenever I can.
And flaw. I
Yeah.
literally cannot resist a pile of gold, even if it's clearly a trap.
Yes. See? Right there. We haven't even rolled stats yet, and I already know exactly how this character is going to act in the very first scene at the tavern.
You'd probably be trying to quietly steal the barkeep's tips with Mage Hand.
Exactly. And for ability scores, we give them high intelligence for the spells, high dexterity for the sneaking, but maybe a terrible strength score because they are scrawny and grew up eating scraps.
And boom, you have a character. It's that fast.
It really is. And notice we didn't spend 20 minutes calculating maximum damage output, which leads to our final piece of advice for anyone listening who is about to fill out their first sheet.
Do not chase perfection.
Please don't. A mathematically flawless character is boring. They have no room to grow, they have no friction, and they have no flaws for the DM to exploit.
Your first character just needs to be someone you can understand and someone you are excited to play.
Your character sheet is not the hero, it is the doorway. The hero begins when you start making choices.
Which leaves us with a kind of provocative thought to mull over.
Oh.
Yeah, think about it. We spend all this time crafting these fictional people with deep fears, unyielding bonds, and these really specific flaws. But when we give our rogue a fear of abandonment or our cleric a crushing case of imposter syndrome, are we really just playing a game? Or are we using the safe confines of a fantasy sheet to subconsciously explore our own real-life vulnerabilities?
Oh, wow. That is going to keep me up tonight.
Good luck with your character sheets, everyone.
Follow the Young Master for more beginner-friendly D&D guides, character creation advice, and tabletop RPG storytelling.
1. How to make a D&D character you'll actually love playing. 2. Beginner's Guide. D&D character creation explained simply. 3. Stop min-maxing. The secret to better D&D characters. 3. Stop min-maxing. 4. D&D 5e character creation step-by-step for first-time players. 3. Stop min-maxing. 5. Build a D&D hero, not just a character sheet. Beginner tips.